if you have inflammation in your gut or even inflammation in your joints, these compounds, when you consume them, you can inhibit the production of inflammatory cytokines, can reduce. It reduces inflammation in your gut, in your joints, respiratory issues. Guys, we don't live well if we have pain. Teeth pain or headache, pain in our lower back. No, we need to get rid of pain as fast as possible. I'm gonna tell you today exactly which supplement is that, how you can take it, what's the best form. I'm gonna tell you everything. That reduces inflammation fast, not slowly, fast. The supplement is called Boswellia serrata. Boswellia is the supplement that you get from that tree. This is a Boswellia tree. Remember this forever. A randomized control trial, double blind. Yeah, what does it mean? Top 1 paper. They found out, the scientists, they did a research and they treated a group of people, giving them Boswellia for 90 days. 90 days, people were taking Boswellia. From 100 milligrams for some group, and other groups, 200 milligrams of Boswellia. Guess what happened? They noticed people who took either 100 milligrams or 200 milligrams, they improved their knee pain, reduced significantly. And those people had arthritis, osteoarthritis. So imagine if you have osteoarthritis and then you have a powerful herb that you find in this specific tree that is already available in many supplements. And once you are taking them, you can literally reduce the cytokines, the pro-inflammatory cytokines, damaging the cartilage, the tissue around and the joints in your knees. And the craziest part, people who took 100 milligrams, they improved, and people who took 200 milligrams improved even more. Can you believe that? Boswellia serrata. Crazy. It's crazy what happens. But what's the point here? Tell, why is that? Look at that. If you don't understand this, forget it. You don't solve your problem. The first thing, Boswellia serrata, it reduces the activation of inflammatory what? Cytokines. It reduces interleukin 6, interleukin 1. Guys, NF-kappa B, NF-kappa, hold on, let's put here, kappa B. Why is that important? Why is that important? Because every single time that these biomarkers, they reduce inflammation, Tiago, what the scientists found out about Boswellia. Nowadays we know in science that Boswellia also reduces inflammation in your gut. Let me write down for you to remember. It reduces inflammation. Where, Tiago? In your gut, it reduces. In your joints. Guys, remember, every single time that you have inflammation in your gut, forget it, you don't solve your problem. Respiratory issues, I'm gonna put here. Respiratory, Tiago, I have asthma. Boswellia can be powerful for me to reduce my asthma? Yes. That's what we know already in science. Look at that. Tiago, how to take this one? How to take that? And what do I need to prioritize? When I take Boswellia, what should I prioritize? Write this down. What you should prioritize is you need to see a higher percentage of boswellic acids. Write this down. If you miss this, you're gonna buy the wrong one. The wrong supplement, you're gonna keep your inflammation forever. Look at that. Because of boswellic acids. The scientists found out that the higher the percentage, supplements, you can find supplements with 30% boswellic acid. Other supplements you can find 50%. Other supplements you can find 60%. So the closer to 60%, the better. Closer to 60% when you buy one. 60% is what you need. Close. If you find 40, 50%, that's gonna be great already. But if you forget this part, that's the most important part. And why is that, Thiago? Nowadays we know when you consume that, because of boswellic acid, they literally reduce the effect of some enzymes, pro-inflammatory enzymes. It reduces that. It reduces the release. Guys, it literally calms down your immune cells to avoid releasing cytokines, inflammatory cytokines, and damaging the tissue. For example, in your knee, around your knee, in your cartilage. Nowadays, we know that Boswellia also improves cartilage. So if you are here with pain, who here have pain? Because remember, there are different types of pain. It can be inflammatory pain. If it's inflammatory pain, Tiago, I have pain in my knees. It can be mechanical pain. For example, your knees are too weak. Weak muscles, you are in a wrong posture, mechanical pain. That's another type of pain. But also there is inflammatory pain. I'm talking about inflammatory pain. not mechanical pain. I have a specific training teaching all the types of pain and what you need to do in each type of pain. What I'm talking now right now is about inflammatory pain. Don't confuse here. Someone said knees. Yeah, pain, her knees, headache, neck, and back. Wow. Pain in many places. It's a lot of pain. Guys, we don't live well if we have pain. Pain, teeth pain, or headache, pain in our lower back. No. We need to get rid of pain as fast as possible. Boswellia serrata helps a lot. If your pain is inflammatory pain, that looks like that's inflammatory pain because you are having pain in many places. Knees, headache, neck, and back. Because you could have, for example, ischemic pain. Ischemic pain is not inflammatory pain. For example, you have pain in your back. Because of lack of flow, you spend 8 hours seated. You have that pain in your back because of lack of oxygen. Why? Because you spend too much time seated. There is no blood flow going to that area in your muscles in your lower back. So you have ischemic pain. When you have a heart attack, and the person has a pain in her heart. What is that? Ischemic pain. Lack of blood flow, lack of oxygen to the muscle, to the cardiac muscle, to the heart. That's ischemic pain. Don't confuse here. So in your case, that can be headache as well, guys. There are many different types of headaches. The cause of headache can be a simple, basic lack of water, or simple, basic lack of B complex, or simple, basic lack of magnesium, or simple, basic, or you are depleting your energy and your stress is high, pituitary gland and amygdala is too active, and then it's increasing pressure. There are different types of headache. But at the same time, headache can be an inflammatory process coming from your nervous system. Inflammation in your nervous system, and then you can have headache. All right? Someone said arthritis in hands and knees. If you have arthritis, remember, autoimmune disease, your immune cells are crazy attacking your own tissues. Remember, this is a treatment. You need to do a treatment. But Boswellia, based on many papers, and especially this renowned paper, a double-blind randomized control trial, published in 2008, by the way, showing and proving people who have osteoarthritis, improving their pain in their knees by taking Boswellia. Crazy. But remember, Thiago, if I just take one supplement, it's going to solve all my problems of inflammation? Guys, don't have that illusion. Don't have that illusion here. You're not 10 years old. You really need to have a treatment. Herniated disc, inflammation as well. That's the same point. But you have compressing, all that compression, and you need to, it's not only about the supplement. You also need to take the supplement, but it's also about the movement that you are doing. What's the posture, the mechanical movements that you are having throughout the day. For example, if you spend too much time without moving your body, the pain in your disc that's pressing the nerve. Guys, remember, write this down. Nerves in your body hates to be stretched or compressed. They hate that. All the nerves. So if you have herniated disc in your disc, compressing the nerve, what's going to happen? You're going to have a lot of pain. So the pain related to your nervous system, the pain related to mechanical pain, ischemic pain, lack of blood flow because you're not moving your body. And once you move your body, you're moving the wrong way, so you have more pain. You really need to be aware of these details. But coming back here, Thiago, how can I take this one? So guys, write this down. You can take, that's a good average. This paper showed 100 to 200 milligrams. Already people having effect. But we already know that from 300, what is that? Yeah, here, 300 milligrams to 500 milligrams per day with food is what you want to prioritize. Otherwise, you can have some stomach pain. All right? Thiago, this is a herb. So if you take combined with vitamins and minerals, you reduce the absorption because herbs always should be taken far from micronutrients. That's supplement when I'm talking about supplement because you have micronutrients in food. When you take with food, it's just to increase the absorption and to avoid stomach pain. For those of you have a lot of inflammation, you have a lot of gut issues, in your case, go with food always. All right? Someone said low iron, allergic to infusions, not absorbing tablets well. What can I take to increase iron, please? Rita, that's a great question. Remember, guys, whatever you take, if your body reacts, nothing else will matter. So Rita, the solution for you is you need to treat your gut microbiome and stomach. In your case, the first sign that can happen, lack of stomach acid. Forget it, you never absorb iron. Or you have inflammation in the lining of your stomach. Forget it, you're going to always have reactions, side effects when you take iron. For example, heartburn. That's already a sign that your stomach is weak. So your priority before you thinking of iron infusion, you have reaction to iron infusion. Tablet, you have reaction to everything. So your priority number one is treating your stomach, treating your small intestine. First step, guys, that I teach in my program is guarantee the first step. What's the first step, Thiago? That your body will have the capacity to absorb something that will heal you. Because imagine that you're expecting something to help you, to heal you, but once you take the solution, your body reject that. That's your case. Your body is rejecting iron. Something that's the solution. Why? Because you're not treating the beginning, the foundation. I teach this in my program. Yeah, Baby Love said, I have low ferritin. That's the point. I'm taking this food here to increase my iron. If your body doesn't absorb that, nothing else will matter. You will still have low energy. Someone said autoimmune, mixed connective tissue disease. Guys, remember, when we talk about autoimmune disease, there are many autoimmune diseases, right? You know that. First thing, once you have autoimmune disease, sooner or later, you will tend to have another different type of autoimmune disease. Tell what? Yes. So you need to take care of this autoimmune disease quickly because another autoimmune disease will happen sooner or later. You're going to understand why. Look at that. You have an autoimmune disease. You can have Hashimoto, arthritis, lupus. Remember this forever. Autoimmune disease is always caused because of your immune system. Your immune cells are crazy attacking your own body, destroying the tissues in each part of your organ. For example, someone who have thyroiditis, Hashimoto is one type of thyroiditis. It's an autoimmune disease that the immune cells are attacking, literally shooting. They are literally, boom, shooting, damaging the thyroid gland. Every time you have an autoimmune disease, why, Thiago, you are saying that sooner or later I can have another autoimmune disease? Why is that? Because your body already showed you that your immune cells are crazy. You are not treating and taking care of your immune cells enough. Because remember, nowadays, most people are creating autoimmune diseases. There are a category of a population that they were born with this gene carrying their DNA that you literally were born with this autoimmune condition. But many people, they create throughout the day, throughout their lifetime. That can be your case. So priority number one is to treat your immune cells as much as possible. Because look at that. Look at that. Your immune cells, the immune cells here, this is your immune cell. They can literally confuse all the cells thinking that a threat. Your immune cells can think that some tissues in your body, in your organs, in your glands are a threat, are not supposed to be there. And they attack by confuse. I'm not lying, that's not an analogy. Your immune cells, they confuse the tissue and they attack the wrong ones. It's crazy. That's why when you have, for example, someone who have an autoimmune condition that they see their skin changing. What does it mean, Thiago? The immune system are attacking their own tissue with their skin, damaging all the tissue. It's crazy. That's what happens with Michael Jackson, for example. So guys, you really need to understand that. Priority number one for any autoimmune disease, step number one is to treat your immune cells. Thiago, how can I treat my immune cells? The first thing, you need to reduce, guess what? You need to reduce your inflammation. Once the inflammation is lower, your immune cells, they work better. Because the immune system, they create the inflammation. They are the ones who create the inflammation. Thiago, I have autoimmune disease. What should I know? You need to know that you already have inflammation. Automatically. Autoimmune disease, boom, you already have inflammation. Because your immune cells are attacking your own body, releasing cytokines. Shh. They are inflammatory. Inflammatory cytokines that we call. All right? It reduces inflammation in your gut, in your joints, respiratory issues.